Hi. This is a little talk through to discuss or try and explain some of the theory which you need for your essay this week on media language. I suppose media studies starts with a central premise that media is a type of language, just like the written word is a type of language. And what we're always trying to do in media is understand what are the codes within that language, uh, and then of course what they mean, and what they mean on two different levels. What the denotation is, what it literally is, and also what the connotation is, what other meanings are implied within it. So essentially, a media language essay is a textual analysis essay. It's asking you to understand what are the codes, what is the language within that particular media, and then for you to explore the detail, the decisions which have been made by the producer, and what kind of ideas that product is trying to communicate to its target audience. So let's go through the theory, but I want you to put that in context. The theory is just to help you understand and illuminate your analysis. But this is not an essay about the theory. This will always be an essay about your media text, uh, and the language of your media text and how it communicates meaning. And in fact, in all of these concepts essays, that is the first thing you should be thinking about. So, two theorists, which you need for this. The first one is this guy, Ferdinand de Saussure, who is a linguist. And he did kind of semiotics, which is the study of language. So essentially, media study has appropriated his ideas and tried to, use them to explain the language of the media, and effectively it does work. Two terms which you need to understand with de Saussure, and they're quite useful ones to have, and they're really good analytical linking verbs, which I think you should be using. De Saussure talked about two kind of elements. The sign is made up of two parts: the signifier and the signified, and it simply means what is the object which carries meaning. So obviously that can be a prop, that could be a facial expression, that could be a piece of music, that could be a camera angle or composition, that could be an edit which creates reaction. All of these things we can describe as signifiers. Okay, the signifiers are the language of the media. The signified is what we've always been working on in media, and it's nothing new. It really is what is the implied meaning? What is the layers of meaning within this? And those layers of meaning can be from the absolutely obvious all the way down to something really subtle and intertextual, perhaps something which makes reference to another kind of media text knowingly to its audience. So for de Saussure, it's simply that there is a signifier, which is the kind of language of the text, and the signified, which is those kind of layers of meaning which are carried by the text. We should also consider good old Barthes. Okay, there he is, very helpful for media language. Okay, remember his 5 codes, which, again, we can get bogged down in them a little bit, but I think there's 3 which are useful when you're doing a media language essay. There's the symbolic code. Okay, sorry about that. Phone call, which I had. But anyway, let's to go back. So 3 codes. There's a symbolic code, which is essentially a visual metaphor. symbolizes an idea which exists within the text. Semic code. The best way to think about semic code is, I think, often to think about the technical language. Okay, the angles, the lighting, the edit. How it's kind of all put together to create meaning. And if you can talk about semic codes and symbolic codes, that's terrific. If you're confident to do that. Finally, there's a cultural code. And like I was saying, some signs make clear intertextual reference to other cultural ideas and products which the audience would understand. Okay, so this can be drawn from art and popular culture and literature, anything which seems to draw on a broader idea outside of the text, which the audience might understand. So, really, that's what you need for this media language essay, to be able to identify clearly what is the language of your particular text. So if it's a digipack, what are the signifiers? The image, the filters, the fonts, the words, the mise en scène. Those are the signifiers. What do they signify? What is signified through those is obviously comes down to design decisions. The type of text, the type of filter, and that the underlying ideas which the producer is trying to communicate. Within your music video, what is the media language? What are the signifiers? It's the camera, it's the composition, it's the edit, it's the rhythm, it's the costume, of course, the action, the proxemics, all of those kind of decisions which you've made throughout the process. How you filmed it, how you dressed your actors, how you directed your actors, where they are, and what kind of meanings are communicated by those. So anyway, we're doing a media language essay this week because we really want you to go back to the detail of your text, whichever it might be. Your thriller, it could be your digipack, it could be your music video, anything which you have made. One text, okay, and consider the ideas which you're trying to communicate. So that's it.